Hello everybody, I am going to talk to you today about Natural History by Justina Robson. I first heard about this through John on the channel Sci-Fi Scavenger, which I highly recommend you check out. Interesting enough, I went back to his channel to check on this afterwards because this book reminded me of several kinds of different science fiction series I've enjoyed. And he had mentioned one of them, Perdido Street Station, and that definitely sticks out here. You could have said this was written by China Miéville, and I actually would have believed it. So among others is The Matrix. You have humans and created beings. The humans are referred to as unevolved, and the created beings are referred to as forged. They are sort of described as humans in various forms. So this is Voyager ISIL. She is a spacecraft, and that's what she is. This is her forged form. She, among other forged, were raised in virtual reality environments and then put into a form by human beings and said, this is your task, go do what we want you to do. She is a bit of an asshole, and it's very likable, though. I actually enjoyed her character very much. She will be joined up with another called Zephyr, who is a human being, just a regular old human, unconnected, no technology in her body, though she does carry, like, something like an iPad, some sort of the time, hundreds of years in the future. There is class war. Let's not call it class warfare. Let's just call it class. Well, we don't like each other, but the forged are basically there to do what the unforged want, and what Justina Robson does, or doesn't do, I should say, is info dump you. And so you get things that feel like they're out of context earlier on when one character, for example, mentions, oh, well, so-and-so's missing all the independence meetings. Well, what the hell does that mean? And so at first I felt like, well, you're just doing this and I'm not going to understand what this is. No, you will, because she just does it through dialogue and introspection of the characters, and it works out so very well that way. This independence meetings are literally when the Forge get together and say, we want to get away from people. We want to have our own place and determine our own futures. It seems partly wired into them to do as they're told, but at the same time, it's almost like they don't have alternatives, and there are forces at work in the human world, military-wise and espionage-wise, that kind of keep them where they want them, until ISIL here discovers some alien technology, and amongst its uses, she can instantly travel from solar system to solar system, and this is what she thinks will allow their emancipation to begin. So I said Perdido Street Station, the Matrix, let's throw in Star Trek The Borg, let's throw in some 2001 A Space Odyssey. A lot of the stuff here almost seems to get to a surreal thing, or let's say metaphysics. And so you start talking about extra dimensional things taking on, four-dimensional shapes, which is what we are. Height, width, depth, and time is our four-dimensional space, and then there's more beyond that in M theory and real physics. So the problem here is that I should say that we don't know what's going to happen with the alien technology as it starts to get spread around a little bit. You get infected with it. And even though I say that this book reminds me of those things, of those other science fiction series, she does have her own twists on that. So, for example, this Borg-like mentality of assimilation, you're supposed to get an option. If you get infected with it, it can, oops, there goes your free will as far as your option to choose, because you just waited too long and it just took you over, or shall I say, made you part of the hive mind. There is, I should say that you see the differences in characters that way, because one character in particular is like, no, absolutely not. I will not become a part of this, whereas another's like, oh, I kind of like the idea. and you make your decision, but sometimes that decision's a little too late, as I said. This is a really good book, just a really good book. I think there's a sequel, if I'm not mistaken, or a sequel coming. We'll see if I'm in the mood for it when the time comes. A hodgepodge of science fiction with its own voice that I really enjoyed. Next, I put this off for a while. I should have done it in November, during Nonfiction November. The Art Thief by Michael Finkel. Oh, I gotta get my glasses off. I can't see close the glasses. I hope I pronounced these right. Stefan Breitweiser is the most prolific art thief of all time. He pulled off more than 200 heists, often in crowded museums in broad daylight. His girlfriend served as his accomplice. His collection was worth an estimated $2 billion. He never sold a piece, displaying his stolen art in his attic bedroom. He felt like a king, until everything came to a shocking end. In this spellbinding portrait of obsession and flawed genius, Michael Finkel gives us one of the most remarkable true crime narratives of our times, a riveting story of art, theft, love, and an insatiable hunger to possess beauty at any cost. So that is what next. Thankfully, it's not a long book, so I got through it pretty quickly and could do another video despite the amount of work I have to do at this time of year. And so I think that'll be the same for this. I'm going to do this video for this book, and then I think right after Christmas, I have relatives getting me a better microphone so you can hear me better, because I know all of you who tune in have to turn your volume up. Sorry. So I should be getting a better microphone, and I'll do a end of the year top 10 list, probably right after Christmas. What's that fall on? Wednesday, Thursday? So sometime after that, the top 10 list for the year. After that, I think I'm just doing some, I got to chapter 1000 in the One Piece manga, and then came just to a halt. I haven't read anything for a couple weeks now, so I'll read that for the rest of the year, and then start up next year's stuff, some sci-fi, some fantasy sitting over there. And I got a 1-year anniversary coming in January. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for that just yet. That's it for today, though. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed, and hope to talk to you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.